Hi, my name is Trina Selden. I'm the Executive Director and founder of Out for Justice. And Out for Justice was founded because I went to prison in 2000 with two 12-year sentences. I wrote for modification, but in the interim, I started doing college courses. I was scheduled to come home in March, but I opted to push my court date back to July so that I could get this certification in human services. I wanted to help people, and I knew that if I didn't get this certification, that I would only be back. I come home, I exhausted all the programs that I could at MCIW. I come home, I did all these wonderful things that they asked of me, including finding meaningful and gainful employment. But I found that having to check boxes on an application indicating that I had been convicted of a crime was hindering my success finding a job. So I found a couple of folks that felt the way that I felt, and we started a small steering committee because I decided that we're gonna get rid of the box. Ban the box is that they can't ask the question, have you ever been convicted of a crime? Just moving it until the interview process, again, that gives the best qualified person a chance to interview for the position and get a job. I knew I was overqualified for these positions that I was being turned away from. That's what prompted the Ban the Box initiative. I feel compelled to do this work because I feel like this is what God is calling me to do, to be real, right? But I also feel the urgency to help out people because I found that the only reason why people weren't doing all the things that was necessary to keep them from going back to prison, because they didn't know. I came home without a birth certificate. I came home without a social security card. But I couldn't get one without the other. Now, any other person would have went back to the life that they knew, but I knew that I had two 12-year sentences and my guidelines was 12 to 24 times 2. I wasn't going back to prison. So, I showed up at this program every day until they found me an internship. I started paralegal, and I did that for like 19 years. But at the same time, I felt that Out for Justice needed to be, period, right? Because people weren't being educated about all the things that they could do. I couldn't get a job again because I had to check that box on the application. I sure couldn't get housing. So it was a lot of barriers, and I felt like that I had to be the one, or us, people with the lived experience, needed to be the one that changed these laws one at a time. And we're gonna knock this building down one brick at a time. So the programming at Out for Justice, like we do a lot of things. Like we don't give handouts, but what we do provide is structure to do all the things that need to be done to help you be successful, help a person to be successful.
Talking about the programs that we offer here at Out for Justice. Out for Justice has 3 strong programs. They are member empowerment, advocacy, and supportive services. And within those 3 categories, we have a list of services and resources that we provide. And we have 2 big events a year and growing. Advocacy Day is coming up in February, in which we'll be going out to Annapolis, gathering up our members, and we're gonna meet with legislators and kind of jump around to different legislators, ask the questions that our members, because Out for Justice is a member-led organization, that our members have. They need questions answered. They live in these legislators' districts, so they get a chance to have a one-on-one in-person meeting with them. And then we meet in the yard, and our members and ourselves, we have signs made, and we rally about different issues and bills that we want to see grow or go away.
The All-Night Community Resource Clinic is an event where Out for Justice hosts. We take services into the community outside traditional hours, between 4 p.m. and 4 a.m. ideally, because people work. And those that work can't get those services during those normal business hours. So we want to make sure our community is feeling supported and uplifted.
This one, we served over 225 people in the 2025 one. We had speakers, we had entertainment, we had free haircuts, spa, yoga, massage, housing, expungements, other law and legal advice. It was wonderful to see so many representatives of the community come out to be able to service the community. It was a wonderful event. Stay tuned to 2026.
right? We have the Leadership Academy, whatever that looks like for that person. If it's resume writing, digital literacy, getting GED prep, if you're interested in legislative advocacy, we do all those things. We have a men's healing circle. We have a women's healing circle, right? I think all of those things are important because all those other things are just symptoms. And once we address all the trauma and all the things that we've been through, we can be a better person and a better representation of ourselves. And we can teach the kids, the same, be role models to them.
We have our 4 pillars, and they are engage. That means I meet you. Hey, how you doing? How can I get you in our organization? Now I have you in the organization, and I want to educate you. I want to train you on what our organization is, as well as train you in the area that you're interested in while you join the organization. You want to have a expungement. There's a teaching piece to that. We have a Leadership Development Academy, which teaches you how to advocate for yourself, your family, and your communities. We have digital and financial literacy, which builds you your character, your leadership, and your knowledge. We also have Know Your Rights, in which we bring in a lawyer and they discuss what your rights are in a fun way based on what the topic is. We have so many things to get involved, engaged, educated, empowered. And when you evolve, that means you've got it all. You got what you need for that area. You're now a subject area expert, and you can do things and initiate things and advocate on your own.
So I look at what 2006, where Out for Justice was, and this is almost 2026, and I think we're doing pretty damn good, right? I think that we have exhausted all the things. We can continue to do the things that we're doing, but I think we need to shift, and our focus now need to be on these children because I'm 56 almost. I'm not going back to prison, and I know a lot of people that feel the same way that I do, right? So now it's a target on the children, charging them in Maryland as young as 10, right? At school to prison pipeline. I want to cut that, right? I want to save as many of our kids as I can. I want to empower as many children as I can. I want them to know that there's a different way of doing things, and I do believe because we're not going to live forever. So we have to start preparing these children now for what's to come.
The W.A.T.C.H program, which stands for What About the Children? And in that program, it involves the Youth Advisory Council as well as the separate entity of the W.A.T.C.H program, which supports young people who've either been impacted by the system or have loved ones who's been impacted by the system. And we encourage them and empower them to use their voices, whether that be through a focus group, whether that be through action, whether that's around legislative policies or around just community issues, as well as also incorporating supports that youth need to eliminate barriers. Out for Justice, I feel, is uniquely qualified to have a specific youth program because it's led by directly impacted people within this organization, as well as I believe Out for Justice understands the barriers that youth face within the community and also understand how to support youth effectively to allow transformation to happen within their lives. Out for Justice have given many youth the opportunity for their voices to be heard. I believe that's one of the ways that we work with young people, by empowering their voices.
Watch. What about the children? What about the children? I was at a town hall. He had this conversation. Ivan Bates and all the likes had this conversation about the children, right? What the children need. What should we do with the children? Children in the room and nobody asking the children what they need or what the children want. So I feel like we need to listen.
We host many focus groups, which allow youth to speak around what they need within their lives, whether that be in the community or just in youth programming in general, as well as eliminating barriers for young people. Also, Out for Justice has hosted town halls in which young people came to speak and also listen to the state attorney, Ivan Bates, around his perspective of charging young people as adults. And it created a space for young people to actually hear what was going on, but also to uplift their voice.
Why you should become a member? Who can be the best representation of you than you? Why partner with Out for Justice? Because we dope like that, right? We got the niche. I feel like if people that are in the people in the nonprofit community that's doing the work of helping people, right? They're coming from I'm gonna say a textbook standpoint. Most of them don't have lived experience, right? our members have the lived experience that most need. Again, it takes a village. Like, we all have a special niche. And if we all bring all of those together, that is a movement.